Why did medieval assassins wear masks? It may seem like a simple question with a simple answer, but there's more to these spooky, scary Halloween costumes than meets the eye. And while we're on the subject of assassins, today we're going to be answering a different kind of why, specifically why it sucked to be a medieval assassin. When most people think of assassins, their mind immediately goes to Hollywood depictions of shadowy figures leaping out from the darkness, delivering a quick killing blow and disappearing into the night. In reality, medieval assassins didn't leap out and strike from the shadows. They were almost always hired by wealthy clients who could afford their services and then given an entire day's warning before they had to do the deed. But despite this generous heads up, being an assassin during the Middle Ages was a pretty terrible job. No one, your face would be recognized. It's unlike the assassins of today. Medieval assassins weren't exactly covert in their operations. They didn't lurk in the shadows and strike from places unknown. In fact, they were usually given fair warning of their target's identity and appearance. And so if you happened to bump into your target before or while carrying out your mission, you would not only have to deal with the awkward situation of having to kill them, but you'd also have to contend with the fact that everybody around you would know your face. After all, medieval assassins were rarely given a second chance after completing a contract. If you survived the attempt on your target's life, you would need to lay low for quite some time. It was much easier to do this when you had a mask to hide your face behind. This brings us to our next point. No, two people would recognize your voice too. Back in the days before caller ID, people would often announce themselves when they knocked on a door just in case the person they were visiting was unexpecting them. This was especially true when it came to royalty, as the last thing any monarch wanted was for an assassin to sneak into their home unnoticed. As such, even if you managed to avoid detection by remaining silent and hiding in the shadows, there was a good chance that someone would recognize your voice the moment you uttered a word. Once again, though, masks proved useful here as well, since all an assassin had to do was don a new one whenever they entered a new location. No, 3. The job was incredibly dangerous. Of course, one of the worst parts of being a medieval assassin was the fact that you had to take a human life in order to get paid. Depending on the weapon you used, this could prove incredibly difficult to do without getting caught. And even if you did manage to land a hit, there was still the matter of disposing of the body. With no forensic teams to help you out, medieval assassins had to get creative when it came to hiding their crime scenes. For this reason, many chose to hire gravediggers to help them dig a discreet hole to bury their victim. Well, not exactly cheap. It was definitely better than trying to dig a hole yourself, or worse, leaving the body out in the open where it might be found by someone else. No, for you had to be good at your job. Not only was being a medieval assassin dangerous, but you also had to be incredibly good at what you did. If you showed up to your target's house and accidentally killed someone else, your client would probably sue you for damages, which put even more strain on your already slim budget. And so, if you weren't up to the task of taking someone's life quickly, quietly, and discreetly, you probably shouldn't have been an assassin. But don't worry, because we've got you covered. Number 5. Your target knew you were coming. If you thought that medieval assassins were sneaky, think again. Because unlike their modern counterpart, medieval assassins weren't exactly known for their stealth. In fact, they usually had a full 24 hours to complete their mission, which gave their target plenty of time to prepare. Some targets would lock themselves in their room for the night, while others would invite over a few friends to help protect them. And then there were the paranoid types, who hired their own bodyguards. All this meant that assassins needed to plan their attacks carefully and choose their moments wisely. If you weren't careful, you might end up spending the night running for your life. Now it's time for you to tell us what you think. What do you think about assassins? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're down there, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like these. But until the next time, stay safe, stay smart, and stay sweet.